It was a dramatic show of force over 300 law enforcement officers flooding Belize City in July 2020 under a state of emergency aimed at curbing violent crime. But now a High Court ruling says that the move was unconstitutional. And the fallout? The government of Belize must pay more than $300,000 to 16 men who were unlawfully detained. At the time, then Minister of National Security Michael Perifit warned of rising murders and robberies, but the court now has painted a very different picture.
We will not tolerate any lawlessness in this country. We're in the middle of a pandemic already. We don't need any more headaches. So a stiff message has already been sent to persons of interest, and more stiff messages are about to come, especially if they don't decide to straighten up.
One of the men now serving 25 years for murder is also among those being compensated by the state. Earl Baptist, once detained under the 2020 state of emergency, has been awarded $15,000 after the High Court ruled his detention back then was unlawful. He's not alone. 15 others will receive payouts ranging from $12,000 to $25,000. The court found that the government overstepped, saying regular crime-fighting laws could have handled the situation in Belize City's south side. But former Minister Michael Perifit strongly disagreed.
All the investigative work and trying to solve the problem from a philosophical point of view is the best solution, but that takes too much time.
The High Court ruling has delivered a sharp rebuke to the way authorities handled the 2020 SOE. Justice Nadine Nabi found that the rights of the 16 men were violated, no judicial oversight, no lawful justification, and an unnecessary 2-month extension. The court says their liberty was taken without cause, and yet just 2 weeks ago another state of emergency was declared under strikingly similar circumstances. The ruling raises serious questions about how far the government can go in the name of public safety.
We will do everything that is possible to return normalcy, peace and stability to the streets in Belize City.
Even at the cost of the rights of persons.
I'm saying that we will do everything that is possible within the context of the law, within the context of the Constitution, to return normalcy to the streets of Belize City. I am not disturbed, I'm not perturbed, I'm not overwhelmed by what was happening. We will do what we need to do.
For years, families and human rights advocates have sounded the alarm over how state of emergency powers are used in Belize City. From alleged home invasions to detentions without evidence, many say the crackdown on crime has come at the cost of civil liberties. As far back as 2018, the Human Rights Commission questioned whether these emergency measures were truly effective or just a blunt instrument. Now, with this recent court ruling calling the 2020 SOE unconstitutional, those long-standing concerns are back in the spotlight.
The question here is, what method do we use to get a result that we need? If you are, for example, a doctor and you're doing surgery, you will need the proper tools to do it. You ought not to use a hammer to do surgery that you should use a scalpel with. And so one of the concerns from a human rights perspective is what tool are you using?
Will the government fight the ruling or foot the bill? That's the big question tonight after Justice Nabi's landmark decision on the 2020 SOE. 16 men once accused of being gang members are now set to receive over $300,000 in compensation for what the court ruled was unlawful detention. But the government of Belize has yet to say whether it will appeal the decision or pay up. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.